So, anyways, back to what I was saying. You missed. What do you want to do with your life?
I don't know.
It's not going to happen, so change it now, all right? We need a reality check. I think nowadays teachers do such a poor job at filling our young students' minds with hope and potential. And in reality, it's all BS.
I have a laptop on me.
That should be fun.
Cool.
All right. Well, hi, I'm Noah,
I'm Kirsty.
and we are joined by our guest star.
Hi, I'm Oscar Loyola. I'm a senior UC Berkeley studying business administration. I was born in Berkeley, funny enough. My family was living in San Francisco at the time, but we moved to Napa when I was 2. Transferred from Napa Valley College. And in my free time, I love playing soccer, going to the gym, and recently picked up Muay Thai. This summer, I interned at BlackRock with their index portfolio management team in San Francisco, where I accepted my full-time offer, and I'll be starting a 2-year rotational program this August.
That was good. That's that. There we go. And today we're going to talk to you guys about the top 5 things we wish we knew before transferring. So we all transferred in together during the fall of 2021. We took our pre-core together, us 3, along with plenty of our other friends that we interact a lot with.
And then these are some of the things that we reflected now that we're in our final senior year, what we wish we knew before we came into Berkeley. The first thing we wish we knew was that we would hit the ground running as soon as we got here.
Everyone just seemed like they were on work mode 24/7. Like, I think as you start to make better connections with friends, you realize that at the end of the day, we're all human. A lot of capping going on, but at the end of the day, everyone is just trying to do their best, and you're here for a reason. So the imposter syndrome could kick out the window.
It's not emphasized enough when we're in community college or even in pre-core, like how fast we have to get everything moving. You meet the seniors who have been here all 4 years, of the seniors who transferred in, and they already have their jobs. They already know exactly what they're doing. And it is not told, you should start recruitment, you should start, preparing within a month or 2 of you getting here.
Yeah, definitely. And I don't know if you guys experience the same thing, like over the summer people be like, oh, I'm into consulting or I'm into investment banking. And I had no idea what any of those terms meant.
Yeah.
And I was like, they're like talking about companies, and I was like, I have no idea what that is. Like, people had this like face that they're like putting up this entire time. I did appreciate a little bit of the pressure. Number 2, everyone is human.
Not everyone who is at this school, no one is a robot, and we're not built to just be like study, work, grind. I think a big part of it that you get out of the experience here is the fun and making connections like these. I think that's the biggest value that you'll have, because at the end of the day, a job then when you graduate isn't going to dictate the rest of your future. It's more so the experiences that you had here, the relationship you created that you'll carry on without.
Yeah, I think one of the main things is that when you get to this school and you see people in the position that you want to be in, it's really easy to feel belittled, in my opinion, when you see someone with a big name company on their resume, and it hits way harder than it should, because at the end of the day, like, we are all in the same position, attending Berkeley, attending the number 2 business program in the country, all earning a similar salary. Like, the trajectory is all very similar, and so very minute at the end of the day, and there's no reason to discredit your accomplishments or the way or the route that you're taking, because
Something that I learned that helped me with imposter syndrome in particular is like learning where it came from. So I always tell myself, like, only I know 100% of me, and 100% of me is the good and the bad and the ugly, but you only know 10% of everyone else, and the 10% that you see is everyone's best and polished version of themselves. So kind of reminding myself that, and then you break that barrier and make friends with people by connecting through shared struggles. So yeah, cool. Number 3.
Yep.
Clubs are overrated. So one of my biggest priorities coming into college is club recruitment, and it's like, I need to join these, and then I found myself like going to probably 10 different club info sessions, right? And then massively like applying and was writing like a bunch of essays. It was like college applications all over again. And then I got like very resentful throughout that process, because I had people that were the same age as me judging my ability and criteria. The point of clubs is to find other people that are also like-minded as you, find a community, and also build yourself professionally along with people that you enjoy hanging out with. And then I told myself afterwards, like, okay, if I don't vibe with these people and I have to change myself completely, like this isn't for me, and then I should stop selling my soul to clubs and instead focus on the ones that really helped me professionally as well as people that I would get along with.
Well, I had a very different experience with clubs. I was interested in finance, and pretty much everyone I talked to said join one of these 3 super selective and elite finance clubs. Throughout the recruitment process, however, I found myself constantly thinking that this was very phony, and I didn't really see how it would transfer onto my career in the long run. I ultimately ended up getting rejected from the clubs. Not to say that there's no value in those clubs, but I thought, you know what, I'm going to do my best regardless if I get into those clubs or not. So I joined some other non-traditional clubs that weren't specifically for finance, or maybe weren't as selective or thrown out as often. And ultimately, I feel that I got the very best experience through those clubs because I met a lot of other like-minded people who were also interested in different careers, not just finance. And kind of being able to pick each other's brains ultimately led to our biggest growth. And I was happy that throughout that journey, I was able to actually secure a job at my dream company without those clubs that everyone said I needed to kind of have a checklist to be able to apply to these other firms.
Video. I finished my recruiting within like a month or 2 of us getting to school. My experience just did not even involve that scene. You don't have to join whatever finance club to get your dream job. You have to join this or that to get your dream consulting job. Like that's just, it doesn't have to be that way, and it's just a really toxic culture from an outsider's perspective.
And number 4, no one died.
Oh, one thing that I always tell Christy after I do something stupid: no one died, no one's sick, everyone's okay. You know, this is a time to kind of live and learn. Very rarely are you in an atmosphere that is as intense academically, socially, and professionally as somewhere like Berkeley, and you're not gonna run into everything with grace. You're not gonna get out of every conflict super smoothly. And instead of crumbling under the pressure and seeing, you know, maybe thinking that I shouldn't do that, and you should probably refrain from doing certain things, but it's okay to make mistakes. And I will say some of the biggest mistakes that I've made in my time in college, especially at my time here in Berkeley, have resulted in some of the most dramatic change I've ever experienced. Don't be afraid to fall forward. I'll quote Budak on that, but yeah.
The stupid things honestly have led to like the most fun memories I've made here. So I'd say definitely explore. At the end of the day, a bad exam scores are gonna matter a couple of years from now. So get out your comfort zone, try new things. Everyone has their own routes.
Something that Noah and I always talked about is we learn the most by experiencing that conflict, like remembering not to make the same mistake over and over again. So it's very important to kind of notice those patterns that you make, like surround yourself with supportive people that care about that growth in particular. Getting thrown into like the social scene and all that stuff taught me a lot of things about what I do like and what I don't like. The last one, there's no right way, just your way. This just shows that there's just no singular path. And if you want to carve your own, do it. Like, learn from other people's experiences, talk to as many people as you want, but there is no like, oh, you need to take these classes, you need to join these organizations, you need to do this, X, Y, and Z. Like, carve out whatever works best for you. And at the end of the day, you only have, as transfers, 2 years here. Make the most out of your experience. Remember, like, time is so valuable. Definitely make the most out of it by not following anyone's path but your own.
Follow your instincts. Don't do something because that's the traditional way to do it. Don't do something because that's just where everyone tends to put their time. Oscar and I can attest from the club aspect and just from a lot of other aspects, honestly. The most growth I got out of Berkeley was not from clubs, not from my academics per se, but just learning how to deal with high caliber people, and I knew that's where I was going to get my growth from. I was just going in and experiencing, and that was just what happened to work for me.
I think everyone is very unique. There's no one route that works for everyone. Some path might work for one person to get to an end goal, but that might not be the same case for another person. You'll hear a lot of two sides. One is saying, oh, you're too young, you don't need to know what you want to do. And the other one's saying you should know exactly what you want to do with your life. You definitely don't have to know exactly what role you want to do, where you want to work, whatever it is, 2, 3, 10 years from now. On the same hand, you won't learn what you want to do unless if you're actively exploring that. So definitely try to tap into that, but don't let it drown you thinking, oh, I have to know what I want to do right now. But just explore that and see where it goes.
That's pretty good.